You may have seen a little while ago, I did a video on the Bermuda Triangle game from the 1970s, which, as I say, was a gimmick game. It was a 3D game that had moving parts. And I mentioned this one in that video, so I thought I would dig it on out and show it to you. This is a board game from my childhood that I have very, very fond memories of. Not the fondest memory of, that's going to be another video somewhere down the line. But yeah, always love this game because when you're like, 10 and you're into ghosts and vampires and anything fantastical. And this was a board game that was out of the ordinary. And I remember it very, very fondly. I don't think it lasted long. I think we played it to death and it just fell apart. Unfortunately, lots of the games, this one and the next one, fell foul of the fact that so many parts of them were made out of cardboard and eventually they would just disintegrate. So this one I bought back off of eBay, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, and I was stunned by it because our board games that we had, when you're not playing them, you just shoved them under the bed and they would get beat up. This box is in immaculate condition. I mean, it's from the early 70s. Ooh, it's from the early 70s, but it looks like it's only a couple of years old. There's no mustiness, there's no fading, there's no price sticker on it or anything. I was so pleased to have got this. Yeah, and inside the box, you've got your 2 dice that you need, plastic bag, and then the instructions, all right? And part of the appeal of these games is not only were they 3D and they had working features, but it was the fantastic artwork that you get. And just like I said on the Bermuda Triangle one, it's the same with this one and the next one. The artwork is far more evocative and scary than the actual reality, even though the reality has got an awful lot of charm. So here we go. If you've never seen this before, welcome along for the ride. If this is ringing bells, come along for the ride and let's go back to the early 70s to a 3-dimensional fearful fun game, but watch out, the ghosts are out to get you. So, Ghost Train. All right, now let's build up to this. If I turn the thing around, basically, you've got to make your way through the ghost train. There we are. That gives you a scale of it. All right, you have to build this. Yeah, this is the card wall with the folding out doors, which goes down into a slot. And yeah, over time and overuse, they will snap off. These aren't too bad. I don't think whoever owned this game played it much. And then, yeah, you get the little playing counters, which is a boy and a girl on a little cart. Girl looking rather scared. Yeah, so you line up here, take it in turns, and you roll 2 dice. You come off, you go into the ghost train, and the first one back onto their colour wins, all right? So let's go into the ghost train. You go in through there, not really giving much away, can't really see much. What about if I go that side? Yes, you can see one. Yeah, look, you can see one of the horrors that awaits us inside, because you go inside the ghost train and what you get is this piece of 70s magnificence. Let's just look at the base before moving on up. And this is what you get. This is the inside ghost train, all right? You come in here, you have to exit there. Now, what you've got is a series of tracks, and you can go any direction you want, although if you land on a yellow arrow, you must go in that direction on your next turn, all right? So you can go any direction you want, as I say. There are certain things that will thwart you in your journey. All these blue things that say spin, all right? If you should land on one of these that says spin, you have to turn the turntable, all right? And here we go. Let's get one. It's up to you how you turn it. It's got to go through 90 degrees, and it's up to you which direction you turn it. So if I pull back, so we get them all in, let's turn it, and you'll see what happens is this. So it's a bit difficult to do one-handed, but there we go. So not only does all the tracks change, if you're on a turntable when it turns, you're all right, because you're not going to be in peril, but your direction will change, all right? So the direction of the tracks changes, but then you get these 4 features which move, all right? You've got 2 ghosts and a giant bat. And if you're on a space and you get nudged by any of these as they turn, say you were here, for example, you know, you're going to get batted, right? If that happens, you have to go over to the waiting room, and then you start off again, either this way or that way. And you've got to go round and find your way out, all right? Another thing that a piece of peril for you is if you should land on a spider's web. If you land on a spider's web, the spider comes down. We have a little pendulum affair, and that happens. So anybody who is trying to get out, you cannot go out all the while that spider is there. If you are on that space and release the spider and get hit by it, you go to the waiting room, right? The only way you can get that spider to go back up is if anybody lands on a green beetle sign, right? And the other bit of peril you've got is these dots. You've got yellow dots and you've got red dots. If you land on a red dot, you've got to go to the red buffer. Where's the red buffer? That's the yellow buffer. Where's the red buffer? There he is. And the problem there is the red buffers and the yellow buffers are very, very close to the ghost, all right? So you're in danger if you're there. And basically that's the game. You've just got to be the first one to find your way out. As I say, I bought this, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. And I played it with my children, and they found it a bit bemusing, all this cardboard, and couldn't really see what the fun was. Oh, the other thing is, yeah, the guy in the middle, the skeleton with his light, right? If the light is green as you're going towards it, you can go past. If it should be red, like so, you won't be able to go up that way. You're going to have to go a different way, all right? Yeah, they were a bit puzzled by, you know, they just load of cardboard and plastic, but I've got really fond memories of it. I love it dearly. I'm so pleased that I got a really good condition one. I looked into it for today. It's unusual in that we're used to here in the UK that an awful lot of the board games were repurposed American games, but this was by Dennis Fisher. It's a British game, but it's not a British game. If we've got any American viewers of my sort of age, you might remember a game like this. There was a Walt Disney Haunted Mansion game, which is exactly this mechanic, right? The turntables are the same. The box the turntables are in is the same. What Dennis Fisher have done is they've taken the bare bones, the bare cardboard of it, and they've come up with a brand new thing, because we didn't have a haunted mansion. We didn't know what haunted mansion was, but we sure did know what a ghost train was. We had enough of them down at the seaside. So basically, they must have bought the rights to it to use the cardboard box, because that's all it is. It's a cardboard box with some plastic turntables, and they repurposed it and came up with a whole new concept with brand new artwork. So this is the British version of the Haunted Mansion. When I finished my waffling, I'll just put up an image of the American Haunted Mansion version, and you can compare and contrast. So that's it. It's a very simple game, but you know, it's ghosts, it's monsters, it's demons, and it's 3D, and things move. I mean, if you're 10, who's not going to love it?